Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wrestling Art with Chris Things.
Ray! Do the hammerlock! I do the hammerlock! Ray! Do the hammerlock, you turkey necks! Yeah, do the hammerlock! I do the hammerlock!
Hi, pals! Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Art with Chris Things. I am Chris Things Brian, your host, your guide in this world of wrestling art. I'm a wrestling artist. That's what I do, and I sometimes get to talk to other wrestling artists, like we had on our last episode. Great chat with Travis. But this being our match of the week one, where I chop it up with a buddy about what's my favorite thing that I watched that week. So much so I made an art of it. We talk about the wrestling, we talk about the art, we talk a whole lot of nonsense. It is generally a good time. So that's what you've stumbled upon here. It's a double header edition. We have two weeks worth to catch up on, but I think it's going to be a good time. We have two tremendous Japanese wrestling matches, one that took place earlier this year, one that took place in 1989. We'll get to that. We've got Jaims Vanderbeek joining us a little bit later on. Looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we're in our What's Going On in the World of Chris Things segment, and oh my gosh, guys, I have so much going on. I'm terrified. So when you're going to be listening to this, that in theory is going to be Thursday in Australia. I will have just completed having my going to opening night of a rad group art show, Cream of the Crop in Sydney, that I hope was was a really great time. As I speak, I'm actually just finishing the painting that I'm submitting for that. I hope that painting ends up good, and by the time you're hearing this, it was a tremendous success, but we'll see how we go. So then next, this Saturday, I have Lucha Fantastica in Melbourne at Collingwood Town Hall, the great fiesta and celebration of Mexican culture and just ridiculous good times that is Lucha Fantastica. I have such a good time at these shows, and I come along and I have my little art table, so I get to sit there, I get to enjoy the show, I get to chat with a whole bunch of rad people, hopefully sell some art as it happens. It's honestly a blast every single time, so I'm very excited about that. Then on Sunday, I have my this one came together pretty fast. So Kenta happens to be wrestling in Melbourne when I was in town for this Lucha Fantastica one. And, I used to know the promoter here a little bit from my wrestling days, so I reached out and I said, dude, could I bring my art table to your show and hawk my wares? This show that has bloody Kenta on it? And he was like, yeah, dude. So that's what I'm doing. So if you are in the area, come on down to Northcote. We have a tremendous afternoon lined up. It's going to be Kenta's debut in Melbourne, the Northcote Theatre. All goes down, doors at 2 p.m, bell time at 3 p.m. Renegades of Wrestling, We Choose Violence. Promises to be a very fun time. I'm excited to see how it goes. It still feels like a bit of an experiment, a learning process. Sort of these different wrestling shows that I'm doing, that I'm selling my art at. I don't really know how it's going to go, so it's exciting. It's just a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think it's going to be a fun time. And it still feels so bizarre to me that I'm going to be selling art at a show that Kenta is wrestling on. If you've listened for long, you probably know that I'm a massive Kenta fan from back in the day. So I think this is going to be a very nice thing. And then I get back from Melbourne, come back home to Brisbane, and then on the Wednesday, I have the first ever wrestling club with Chris Things. This is I think I spoke a little bit about it last week, where in a local bar here, Brewski. I've got booked out a room. Whoever wants to come, please come along. It's going to be a free evening where I'm gonna have a little chat, and we're hopefully all gonna have a nice time together, and we're gonna watch some weird, eclectic, great wrestling together. Imagine kind of like this match of the week gimmick, or Phil Schneider or Rob Naylor comp tapes from back in the day. And yeah, we're just gonna watch some eclectic, great wrestling, and just have a good time as wrestling buddies too. So I'm very excited for that. I'm gonna have my aunt there as well. So if you do want to buy a print or a T-shirt or whatnot on the evening, you can do so. But please, no pressure on that side of it. Most important thing is to come along and have a good time. Let's just vibe over this thing that we love. So I'm very excited about that. But man, busy times. So that's basically, I looked at it. In 1 week, I'm doing 4 events in 3 different states here in Australia. So I really feel like a traveling carny at this point. So I guess this is just my life, Let's see how we go. I just finished as well. Last week I got to do the Pro Wrestling League show up here in Brisbane in Chermside. Having a little art table there, and got to have some lovely chats with people, and that was a really nice experience, because I'm not sure if I mentioned it last time, but I was feeling a little bit weird and nervous, a little bit, because I used to have a weird thing about being around the local Brisbane wrestling after having been a part of it in a previous life as a Brisbane wrestler. Then I had to stop doing it. I got too many concussions, and then I just felt weird being around it. I don't know why. I don't know if I felt like a bit of a sort of like hanger-on, or like I didn't have a purpose or a place being there. I wanted to be there to support my friends, but honestly, it was just really hard to do so. So I just couldn't. But yeah, so this show was kind of a significant thing, because it was one of the first times I actually was there to sit through a whole show. Not saying sit through it like it was an arduous experience. The show was actually awesome. I was very surprised at how great the current Brisbane wrestling scene actually is. Very much surpassed my expectations. Some really great workers on the show. And yeah, it was a really nice time getting to reconnect with a bunch of people. Some older faces that I haven't seen since I was involved in wrestling, basically. And some newer faces that only started doing it after I stopped. So I got to have some beautiful chats, and if anyone is listening to this who saw me on that show, welcome aboard. And thanks so much. It was honestly a very nice experience. But yeah, so now on to Sydney and Melbourne and all the things. It doesn't stop. I think at this stage I just need to do all of the things to try to build my art practice up, build a following, just hustle, do all of the stuff. That's what I believe right now is kind of the road to making this thing. If this doesn't work out, if this can't be a full-time income that I really hope and want it with every fiber of my being to be, it won't be because I didn't try. That's the way I think about it. All right, but that's about enough of that. Hope you guys are ready for some match of the week goodness. A little note here. I think that annoying kind of fuzzy kind of sound came back for a bit of this. Hopefully that's not too annoying for you guys. If it is, feel free to just tap out. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. Sometimes these things happen, and you're like, man, fuck. I don't know if I have some cord I need to replace or something, but I'm just a dude doing this here in my office. I don't have a fancy big old studio as much as you think I might do. I don't have quality checkers. So it's not like I'm going to have this whole chat with Jeremey all over again. I don't know if you expect better of me. If you do, I'm sorry. But yeah, hopefully it's not too annoying. But I do very much appreciate you guys. Even if there's some of you that just listens to this intro part, I still take it as a big compliment. Having you guys part of this ride, part of this journey. It's kind of the way I treat it. But yeah, all right. That's about enough of me yammering on. Let's jump into some match of the week action. All right, over to you guys in the fake studio that is Chris's office. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back for another match of the week, and I have my dear buddy, Senor Beek, the Uncle of Beeks, Jeremey on the line. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks for having me, pal. I am happy to be here watching two fantastic pro wrestling matches just so we can chat about it together. It's a wonderful thing.
It's a very, very sweet thing. I love it. I mean, I grew up. I just told you I wasn't going to do many bullshit tangents on this one. We're going to keep it quick, but here I am. First bullshit tangent. I grew up at a time watching wrestling when it felt like everyone thought wrestling was really lame, and you had to almost keep it a secret in high school because people would think that you're a lamewad if you watched wrestling. So I didn't get to talk to friends and people about wrestling. I had to keep it all on the inside. So now I'm ever more grateful that we can bond and talk about such things.
I too grew up similarly. Didn't want anybody to know I liked pro wrestling, not because necessarily that they would think I'm a nerd. I knew that they were a nerd, and I probably didn't.
Oh no, you disappeared.
Oh my god! I'm telling you, how much? Am I back? Did it cut out?
Where did it cut out? You're back.
Did it cut out when I made fun of everybody?
Yeah, it was like you were censored.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is, I was worried that they were too nerdy for me to actually engage with, and I would not like the conversation when it ended.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was afraid.
It happens. I think I spent many of my high school years trying to be friends with people that turns out I just didn't have anything in common with them and probably didn't like them as people,
Yeah, weird, huh?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Growing up and choosing to surround yourself by like-minded people, it's a magical thing.
Right on.
But yes, this is our match of the week. We're back. We got two matches to catch up on. We've got another double header here. You're my double header dude. Triple header sometimes.
Double-headed dude. I am the double-headed dude. Damn right. From down under.
I was trying to think of some sort of cool thing, but I got nothing other than like a double-ended dildo, or I don't know.
Hey.
So we have a heck of a double-ended dildo combination of matches tonight. It's two excellent Japanese wrestling matches, but two one classic match from the late 80s, one semi-current match, but it's kind of good to watch these together because my first takeaway was wrestling was awesome then, and wrestling can still be awesome now.
I must concur, 100%. Actually, when I was all said and done, I was shocked which match of these two matches I enjoyed more, honestly.
Wow, I have an inkling of where you're going with that, but let's not foreshadow too much. I guess one thing we're talking about this, we're sort of comparing and contrasting a match that happened in New Japan in 1989 versus a match that just happened earlier this year in Noah. So I guess Noah is the successor to the All Japan King's Road kind of style versus the New Japan Strong style, as they call it. But I mean, both of these matches were just dudes beating the shit out of each other, and I was here for it.
Man, yeah, beating the shit out of each other is right. That's probably the best part of Japanese wrestling, is the fact that these guys are like, well, in order to put on a good show, we unfortunately going to have to really beat the shit out of each other. I know this is a work. Sure, friend. I understand. But we got to really give these crowds something to be entertained by. So, yeah, we're just going to pummel each other.
Yeah, and I feel very fortunate to get to see that when that happens. I mean, that
Agreed.
when a million years ago when I used to wrestle, that was my approach to it. That is likely the very reason why I ended up with so many concussions that I had to stop doing it. But then we watched dudes like this who just somehow kept doing that for entire ass careers.
Yeah. And apparently some surprisingly longevity with some of these characters, like Masato Tanaka. The fact that this man is still wrestling at this high of a level is fucking insane.
Dude, still, like this past week, he had a match for in DDT against Takeshita, which from all accounts I heard that was absolutely awesome. And then like 2 hours later, he wrestled like a main event for 0-1 or wherever the fuck it was. Like, this dude's a fucking cyborg, man.
Yeah. It's scary as fuck looking too, like, and looking like in the best shape of his life. It's actually quite insane.
It's amazing. But all right, let's start with the first one. So our first bout here of these two took place in New Japan Pro Wrestling on June 27th, 1989, on day 9 of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Summer Fight Series 1989 at the Nakajima Sports Center in Hokkaido. So this was Riki Choshu against Big Van VADER. This wasn't actually their first match. They've had a few matches already. So they've, I think, established a pretty amazing chemistry and level of hate for one another before we even get into this match. I tried to watch all the ones that I could find in the lead up to this, and then this ended up being my favourite of the lot. I think it might be their third match. But a special little mention on one of their previous matches, might have been their second one. You know how Vader has the big sick entrance mask that he like puts down in the middle of the ring, and then it shoots the bloody smoke and everything. It looks quite intimidating. He did this in the second match, and Riki Choshu walked over and kicked the mask over.
What a disrespectful son of a bitch.
Yeah, Vader did not seem too pleased about it. So,
yeah, those are expensive. That's an expensive piece.
I laughed so much when I saw it. But man, this match. I mean, the first thing that I have in my notes here, I did take notes. I do sometimes put an effort in with this podcast. The entrances. My gosh. Yeah. So my favourite thing about this, as opposed to, like, you can't even find this match on New Japan World anymore after they redid it with a new system or whatever. It's impossible to find anything old, or they haven't even uploaded most of the stuff. But when you do, they cut out the classic entrances like this because, you know, I assume they don't have the rights to the music. So we're watching this on trusty old archive.org. Tremendous thing, by the way. And the entrances are in full. And my gosh, I'm so glad they are, because they are tremendous. From, you know, Choshu's amazing, iconic theme music and just coming out like the biggest badass there is, to then Vader coming out. It's like video game 80s movie super bad guy boss. Fucking mask, the rainbow eyes of the world.
Changing the lighting in the room, all the red lighting, making him look like a total fucking supervillain.
Oh my gosh, it was like he was fucking Shredder out of, or like Giant Shredder out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Super Shredder.
I think you mean Super. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I was going to say Giant Shredder. Who's this character? I'm not familiar with the Giant Shredder. But yeah, dude, it looks dope as fuck. And then I always love the Vader with the full luchador mask underneath his helmet, not just the strap mask, the full-on luchador style mask. So rad with the fucking matching stripes.
Yeah, the like so red fucking lightning bolts or whatever it is. It's a fucking underrated look. You obviously go on to the classic sort of Vader red strap look, but I think there's an argument to be made that this look went even harder than the other one. I don't know.
I definitely agree. I made sure to purchase the action figure when it became a readily available option to have the Vader in the lightning. Fucking so dope. So
good. And yeah, man, they I was sizzled before this even got started. You know, I was just like, fuck yeah, I'm ready for this Vader Choshu action. And then, dude, it just starts out hot and heavy, and it's not here for a long time, but it's here for a good time. Like
Hell
bloody
yeah.
wild, chaotic sprint of a match.
I love that Riki. It's like a lot of people, when they wrestle Vader, they wrestle with a tad bit of fear as far as the character is concerned. No, not Riki Choshu. This motherfucker is like full bore right at this guy right away, and just not even laying it in very light at all. He was fucking laying it in pretty strong.
Dude, for the whole match, like that was one of my things that I took a note of. It was like, there's something super commendable and impressive about Choshu's pace that he's wrestling this match, where he'll obviously like Vader will beat the fucking shit out of him, but then like he just keeps coming back. He just like somehow like no matter what, he's right there coming back just as stiff. Like it. I think that's a real special part of it.
And he moves his ass so hard that's what makes fucking Vader escape to the outside, because he has to run away from this little guy. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna take a powder real quick.
It's something to be said saying Choshu's a little guy, because like he may not be the tallest dude in the world, but he is bloody chunky.
Oh yeah, he's a thick boy. I just, in comparison to Leon, most people are dwarfed.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, this had a real great sort of big boy hoss battle kind of vibe right from the get go. I forgot how good Vader's like chunky boy clotheslines are. We see some of them in the early part of this, and he's just like, the short arm sort of clotheslines.
Yeah,
there's
that one was
something about
gnarly.
Vader's body type. So good.
And he knows how to use it, man. He just like throws his entire body weight into people with reckless abandon. It's amazing.
With everything that he does, and that is why we love Vader. Everyone, this the safety police did not get to this guy.
My lady friend Rachel, particularly obsessed with this fucking Vader guy. It's almost, yeah, obsession. That's what it is. She's obsessed with Vader.
She has good taste, I think.
Yeah.
We all. I'd say I agree with her. I'm obsessed with Vader. I don't think.
I thought you meant about talking to me. I thought about me. I thought you were saying shit.
Oh,
damn it.
That too.
Damn it. But yeah, this match is so crazy because like Riki's all over Vader, forces him to the outside, and then starts beating the shit out of him on the outside, and then gets him all fucking bloody. Like the bloodiest I've seen Vader, probably.
Dude, he's just like, you can tell they've already got an existing beef, because when they get on the outside and he just starts whipping Vader into those guardrails, sends like the announcer's table like over. Everyone's just like, what the fuck? And he's like tearing Vader's like mask open, and then he gets the chair. He's just wailing on him with this chair. Like, he really feels like he's just trying to hit him with this chair as hard as humanly possible. And it was delightful. And then Vader comes up and he is covered in blood.
Yep, he's leaking all over the place, and it's pretty awesome. And he's making sure that his mask stays on the other side of his head, because it pretty much is ripped in half and trying to come off. What an amazing visual.
Oh my gosh, I'm always a big fan of that visual of the torn mask and the blood, big part of a great genre of lucha libre with your, bloody apuestas matches and things like that. But man, it goes so hard, and Vader especially, there's something. So I think I saw a picture of this match before I ever actually seen it. You might be familiar, there's a picture of Vader I think is taken from the end of this one, where he is just covered in blood, and I think it's the same kind of one as this, and it there's something incredible about it of just seeing such a big dude bleeding so much blood, and it's just all trickling all over him, and it's just like, I think while watching this whole match, that really sort of like leveled up the intensity. And also, as soon as he starts bleeding, it's almost like Choshu has awoken the beast, and he just gets even more aggressive.
Oh yeah, once they get back in the ring, Vader is literally all over him, just like unleashing everything. And yeah, you don't want to bloody up Leon and think, all right, things are going to be light after this. No, no. Chances are you're in for a hurt.
I mean, there is, again, you mentioned about Choshu coming back. He does come back. He does get back on top, and then
Of course.
I think I read a review of this match where someone noted about Vader's sort of like wounded bear selling whilst all bloodied up. I was like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what this was.
That's a good description. Yeah, like when he was finally like at the one bit climbed up to the top rope, like he's like, all right, in order to win, I now have to throw my entire body at this man and crush him. And he did so, but he still didn't put him away, which is pretty insane.
Oh man, that visual, that moment of him like just jumping off that rope, covered in blood, I was like, man, this doesn't get better than that, you know. And I was like, okay, that is my moment. But right before that, the one that came quite close was where Vader had him in. It seemed like the most Goliath sleeper of all time. Like it looked like he was a man was being just having the life crushed out of him by a giant bear.
A human body is suffocating him.
Like, just seeing that, like this huge, enormous, massive humanity on him, like leaking blood all over Choshu. Well, Choshu just looks so diminutive inside whilst having this sleeper or head, whatever it was on him. Man, that was sick. So I was almost going to go with that, but it almost would have been. It could have been cool because it was almost like a bit of an abstract kind of image when they get in real close. I thought that would have been pretty badass. But man, the flying Vader covered in blood, it doesn't get much more badass than that. But that wasn't enough to finish the match.
No, it was like a total eclipse of Vader. He like jumps in the sky, everything goes dark, and yet Riki Choshu fights on. It's amazing.
He does somehow. The amazing regenerative powers of Riki Choshu.
And the strength, man. Like that giant power slam he slams him with. Like, can you learn words, Jeremy? There are other words than slam. But yeah, no, he like picks him up, and it's like the biggest power slam to a monster of a man. And it's just incredible seeing that happen to Big Van VADER.
Yeah, and like every one of his strikes and clubs and stuff, he's just throwing hell for leather. He finally hits him with the classic Choshu lariat, which
that was awesome.
Similar to the Andre Stan Hansen match that we watched a little while back. He sends Vader right to the outside with it. Man, this is just like such a level of amazing intensity. I was like, again, this match wasn't like really long. Didn't have kind of like a lot of the extended finishing sequence and like maybe the near falls that people expect from sort of like contemporary classic matches. But for what this was just I don't even have words.
Well, like it ended didn't it end with a fucking count out? Like Choshu jumps over the ropes with a crossbody, and then he picks up Vader and like basically gives him a spine buster on the outside, and then Vader can't get up. Wasn't that the end?
No, the other way. So Vader, they're on the outside. I think Choshu does something to him, but then Vader comes back and gives a running, running like jumping body block off of the apron.
Did he catch him? And then like I could have sworn there was a spine buster finish at the end of this match on the outside, and then it was a count out.
But I think Vader gets back in, so Choshu got counted out. Vader.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a fucking. I could have sworn it was the opposite way. And I just watched this. Apparently, I'm way more sleepy than I thought. I swear I finished this fucking match. You know what? I don't believe you.
Wait. So you didn't make it to the post match?
No.
Oh dear.
I just watched when the match ended. Was there a big fight after everything? I was trying to get these matches watched.
The best thing ever.
All right, then explain it to me. I'm going to pull it up and watch it as you explain.
Okay, so after this count out loss that Choshu suffers, Choshu's all pissy, and then Vader is just like, like doing his Vader screams of victory. That's the part where the referee holds his hand up, and where I think that classic photograph that I'm talking about came from, with Vader just covered in blood, up in victory. Amazing visual. And then I think Choshu ends up. I think it almost looks like it's going to start again, but then Choshu's gone. But then we just get the reign of terror of Vader to finish this match in the following series of moments where Vader just starts. He won the match, but he's somehow still angry, and he's just throwing shit all over the place. Fans are running from him. He gets whole ass rows of chairs and is just throwing them while covered in blood. And then it finishes on the image of him just like at the back of the arena, where everyone running away from him and just doing this triumphant like roar with his arms up, covered in blood. And I'm like, I think that post-match might have been even better than the actual match. It was incredible.
Well, fucking A. Yeah, I'm watching. I feel so stupid because I didn't catch any of that. As soon as it looked like the match was over, I'm like, all right, well, I guess there's no more. Because we've watched matches before where it's like all of a sudden just a random count out ending, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
I guess. Oh, I'm seeing it now. Well, watching it again. Yeah, look, Vader, he's all mad.
Oh, and special mention. So this was clearly from New Japan's TV show at the time, because at the start, I almost forgot. One of the coolest parts is
Chris, I apologize. I just wrote my notes wrong. I just wrote my notes wrong and fucking screwed myself over. Oh, golly.
Oh, that's okay. It happens.
Yeah, but I'm watching the destruction right now, and this is fucking awesome.
Oh, it's such a great visual. I highly recommend everyone just watch this match, mainly so you can watch the post-match. It's like one of the wildest things you'll ever see. But at the start of it, after they do the entrances, when they're about to do the ring introduction, they clearly go to like a commercial before they come back for the start of the match, and it has the most badass music that plays like going in and out of commercial. So I'm like, that somehow even leveled my enjoyment up even more.
I can't disagree, man. Fucking A. This is so bananas. I'm watching him like chase all these people away. It's so funny. Like everyone's like, he is literally a monster and he's bleeding everywhere. Get away from him. So good. Yeah, I totally remember the Spinebuster now. Oof. Oh, they went back to the lariat, Chris. Sorry, I'm watching them doing the recap, and it's just so good. Oh my god, he smashed him. All right, continue. I apologize.
I adored this match. No. I adored everything about this. It's just a spectacle of violence and hate and big boy physicality, and it's a delight. This is the kind of wrestling that I really, really love.
Fuck yeah.
Hoss bloody fight right there. And yeah, I was really stoked on this one.
I like big meaty men smacking meat.
It really is. And for the illustration element of this match, this was my first one of the match of the week that I had to go. Normally I do the square aspect ratio for the frame or whatever. This time, my artist note of the show, I had to do it in like a portrait kind of aspect ratio orientation. Because I could have done the square, but one of the coolest things about this, I think, so obviously we have to have Vader.
You lost Riki's sweet butt.
Yeah, Riki's a massive, bodacious butt. That's what I felt like we really needed in this.
Honestly, it would have been lacking so much if you had cut his butt off. I'm not even kidding.
It would. I think so, and it sort of like captures Riki's weird, stocky,
stature,
chunky boy body type as well. Like you need those big legs. How ridiculously high his trunks are as well. I was very happy with that, and I was very happy as well. It seemed like it got a lovely reception. Sold a few printskis of it already. So again, anyone playing at home, if you would like that, christhings.com.au. But yeah, that was a really fun one to draw between the blood and the just everything going on. Vader's always fun to draw as well. Like he's such a weird looking freak of nature in just the best way. So this was honestly like a delight and really fun to get to do.
If you ever decide to do his actual, just the helmet itself, let me know because that's something I would be very interested in getting tattooed.
Ooh, sick. Yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be I always am just transfixed by how amazing that entrance mask looks when he was, especially like in this match where he's like coming out.
And I'm sure you'll sell a ton of prints if you do so.
I mean, that'd be a good one to do. All right, that's on my never-ending ideas list.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very good one, my friend.
All right.
I'm making a note of this as we speak. Here
All
we
right.
go.
Note to Jeremy for next time. Be descriptive in his notes.
All right. Hopefully the note-taking audio came through as clear as possible there. All right. The ASMR portion of today's show is complete.
Yes, sir.
And now we make our way from 1989 up to February of this year. Another one of my somewhat current matches. I don't know if people like see me picking these and they're like, man, this motherfucker is behind on his current wrestling. How is he only up to February? And I would say there is so much wrestling to be watched, so much great wrestling out there. That's just what happens. It's very hard for me to keep up. I don't know if you have this problem.
Dude, actually, lately I've been having the exact opposite problem. I don't even like watching wrestling much anymore. I like regular TV wrestling, and I don't find any reason to search it out. But yeah, TV wrestling has been really not safe or providing me any joy, man. Like I just watch it, I'm like, ugh, it's just there. And it's fine. It's like I'm not expecting it to blow my socks off, but I haven't really dug much, unfortunately.
Being honest, there's not a lot of American TV wrestling that I have as appointment television anymore. It's been a bit of a while since I used to be watching everything week by week and be current. Now I just kind of like, you hear about something being cool and I'll be like, oh, I'll endeavour to watch that. But other than that, most of my weekly watching is pretty much either Japanese wrestling or CMLL or just weird old shit. That's pretty much all I watch. And it's fun. Would recommend.
Yeah, the only time I ever really get to watch a match and fucking enjoy it is when you pick something out, because I haven't been disappointed one. There hasn't been a single match where like, why did Chris pick this?
Well, that is very nice for me to hear. Puts a little bit of pressure on the shoulders here. I don't want to have one day where you're just like, Chris, you found the one that I didn't get.
I won't be honest. I'll say, well, this was a joy to watch.
I like to think that if nothing else, there's always something that's like interesting about the match, So even if like you don't like it on a stylistic basis, there's something about it that's somewhat captivating. That's kind of what I go for here. But this next match was a funny one. So again, February of this year, Pro Wrestling Noah's the first ever of they're doing these special edition Limit Break shows. This was Limit Break 1. They're the ones that are primarily featuring the Team Noah wrestlers in prominent matches. And yeah, I had no expectations for this show other than it looked fun. It has a sweet looking main event with Akiyama in it, making his big return to Noah, which I was pretty pumped about. And then this match came along, just in the middle of the card. Didn't look like it was anything too crazy, but I have a deep level of love for Muhammad Yone and Masato Tanaka. Tanaka, obviously, we spoke about him being like a fucking freak cyborg, but ECW, FMW legend. He's been doing stuff sporadically for Noah for the last few years and always been awesome. Like I have no idea how he keeps going, at the pace that he is. But I'm here for every bit as long as it lasts. So much love for Masato Tanaka.
He has some highest quality HGH in the world. The man is pumped full of. Yeah, it's insane. It's fucking ridiculous.
He must have his own sort of like his body creates it somehow. It has like a natural source of I mean, I guess that's just growth hormone, but yeah.
Yeah, everyone has that apparently. It's weird. But if you pump it into yourself directly and in massive amounts, you can look tremendous.
You could probably like take his blood and inject that into anyone else, and then that would just straight up be growth hormone.
Yeah, that was so funny. Like somebody has a knee injury, they inject Masato Tanaka blood into them, and you can actually see it on the monitor. It's healing itself.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, at this point. But yeah, Muhammad Yone, like, just for anyone that like knows much of Noah, you've probably seen this guy a whole bunch. He's been in Noah for like ever since I started watching it. He's just been around all the time. You know, sometimes he's had a bunch of different wacky gimmicks. You know, recently he was the leader of the Funky Express, so we really embraced his love for funk there, and we got Funky Yone there for a while. But he's just been around forever.
Embraced his love of funk.
I mean, as you might guess, with the beautiful afro.
It's just an amazing
well.
line. He's like, he embraced his love of funk. It's like, yeah, that's what he did. Actually, when I started watching Noah, I essentially just, well, I guess that's the comedy gimmick guy. But this match here proved me otherwise.
Oh my gosh, he's so capable of when he wants to pull it out, he'll bloody well pull it out. And you know, he's like 48 years old here. But the funny thing is, if you wind it back to Yone prior to Noah, he was actually a battle arts guy. So he has that like shoot style, like battle arts badass kind of like background.
Makes sense.
I think that's maybe what comes out. You know, he gets a little cheeky head around the corner every now and then when we get in a particularly physical kind of match. But yeah, there's so much love for Yone. One of the times I went to Japan, I got to see, it was back when Nakajima was GHC champion. The main event was Nakajima against Yone for the strap. And you know, some people might be like, "Hey, what's bloody Yone doing getting a world title shot?" You know what I mean?
I might even say that.
And you should have seen the level of love for this motherfucker, and like the you know, the Noah faithful sold out Korakuen. They so wanted to see Yone finally win the big one. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and that was another example of, you know, getting to see big match Yone, you know, pulling it out when he really push comes to shove, and man, that's what we got here. There's many moments through this match where you can see that crazy level of love that the Noah fans have for Yone. It's like, if you love Noah, you've got to love Yone. That's the way I'll put it there. But yeah, so we have this match in the middle of a card. I wasn't expecting that much, other than just like, I love these two motherfuckers, so of course I'm going to watch this match. I actually just watched the Marigold show, the big one the other day that had you know, awesome match with like Io Shirai and Julia against Sari. You know, really, really great card. And I was thinking one of those matches would easily be the match of the week. And then I just happened to watch this for fun. And I was like, this fucking match was better than everything, or at least more enjoyable to me, on that, like, you know, massive Marigold show. So I wasn't expecting it to be this great. I don't think anyone was expecting it to be this great.
No.
But fuck, man, so enjoyable.
I knew it would be fun because Masato Tanaka is awesome. And then I knew it would be fun because, in my experience, Yone is quite a fun, entertaining dude. So when they immediately started out this match by running into each other full force repeatedly, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be something a little different.
It's so funny. I had a note here of, from that first shoulder block exchange onwards, you're like, this is going to roll.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then immediately they get outside of Tanaka, just like crazy asshole runs and grabs one of these insane Japanese tables that are, everyone knows, stiff as fuck. And fucking A, he breaks the motherfucker with Yone's body. It's and that's like really early in the fucking match, dude.
Oh man, on rewatch, because I remember the table spot from watching it the first time, but I didn't notice, I don't know if you caught this, Tanaka initially goes to look under the ring for a table, and he can't find it. But he's doing this real fast. It's not like, you know, you see some of these matches and the guys are like looking for like fucking 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
He like looks under it, it's not there. In a brief split second, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna steal this fucking table from the announcers. Like he just takes their whole fucking table. Like this is not a gimmicked fucking table. This is like their actual table. Later on, you notice there's like a sticker on it that says like "Property of Noah."
And I love the first thing he does is just chuck it at Yone's head. He just like throws the entire table at this man.
Dude, the best way I could describe it is he sabooed the table at him.
100%. 100%. It was fucking great. I that's what initially I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be short work and Yone is gonna get tore up. But much to my surprise, that's not how this thing turned out.
My gosh. And then, like, not only after he obliterates the table with this sweet Superfly splash to the outside off the top rope, that's not enough.
Where he almost fucking went too far and almost landed on his face on the ground too. Did you notice that? He was like almost too much forward. So when he landed on him, he kind of slid off and almost landed his face on the ground as well. It was pretty gnarly looking.
He is a master though of like he must really know the level of force that you need to break those real hard Japanese tables because we know how tough Japanese tables are.
The toughest.
But I mean, even after he puts him through the table, that's not enough. He then starts getting the broken shards of the fucking table and goes to work on his knee of all things.
Yeah, he just starts beating the shit out of him with these fucking table remnants, and then huge onto the knee, like almost destroys it like a regular, somebody would hit him with a door or a chair, just like full swing and blows the thing up into a million pieces on the guy's body. It was tremendous visual.
Oh, and it explodes like a fucking pinata, and all these like broken bits of table must clearly be flying into the front row. Just amazing shit. And then we go from there to one of my favorite things about Japanese wrestling is clearly you can do whatever you want on the outside. You could probably shoot a guy on the outside or stab him with a knife. And it's fine because it didn't take place within the sanctity of the ring. But then we get in the ring and fucking, all right, no, you got to wrestle here. None of that hardcore bullshit going on and within these ropes.
You must respect the sanctity of the ring.
I dig it. Okay, so listeners, we had a little something happen.
No, I thought we were going to address it.
I always feel it's better to shine a light on these things that happen. We don't want to sweep it under the bed. But so we were recording, and then there was a bit where I realized I was talking, and there was nobody on the other line. And Jeremy, please tell listeners what happened here.
Well, I'm sitting here, currently staying at my parents' house due to some personal stuff, and my dad has a dog. She popped in the room real quick, and my dog was in here. They were on the bed for a moment. I was like, haha, beautiful little doggies on the bed here. So I turned back around to podcast, and then I realized the dogs had left the room, and one of them, and I must assume my dad's dog, left a big pee stain all over the bed. So I rushed to try to get all the blankets and stuff. Good news. There is a plastic little cover on the mattress itself, so not penetrating that mattress. Just ripped off these fucking pissy covered sheets and pillow tops and took them to the wash. Oh my god, that was disgusting.
Well, that is a very good outcome because
I'm not sure what I did to this dog. Honestly, like I've been very nice. She steals my dog's food. I honestly think maybe that she got mad that I tattled on her for stealing my dog's food. I think that's the case.
Oh dear. Man, always like dogs pissing or shitting in your bed is one of the worst parts of dog ownership, really.
Oh yeah. Or puking. Have you had a dog puke in your bed while you're sleeping?
Oh yeah.
Bebop one time, back with my ex, we're gonna go on a little Bebop tangent. He had a ability to swallow dog toys pretty easily. That's happened once or twice, but one time we didn't know it happened, and we woke up in the middle of the night to him retching, and then he puked, and a toy popped into the bed with us, and with a pile of vomit. And we're like, oh, well, I'm glad he puked that up, but not here.
That's one of those moments where, like, honestly, if I saw that happen, I would have just been happy because I'm like, man, that would have been a fucking expensive vet bill. Like, I would prefer 100%. To have vomit in my bed any day of the week than that bullshit.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah, that might sound weird being happy about a dog vomiting in your bed, but it's dog owners. What happens? It happens.
Yep.
Or you
Yep,
have
yep.
the thing where some of them gross like that happens and it's in the middle of the night and you're like, could we possibly just go back to sleep and pretend it's not here and then deal with it in the morning?
Fuck no! I'd be out of bed so quick.
All right. That's our little dog tangent. Back to this match where we're back in the ring here, and the strikes have begun. Oh my gosh, that is when this match really levels up. And you know, Tanaka's always had like awesome strikes, but that's one of the real special things about when you piss off Yone, you get that battle arts Yone that we're talking about, and he bloody knows how to do some stiff, snug elbows. And this match really just took off from being ridiculously fun to being completely awesome in the following moments.
Yeah, man, I was honestly shocked on how much he was lighting that, full force style that looks real as fuck is something that is Tanaka's calling card. So when this guy is just answering back with the same level of intensity, I was like, okay, Yone, bring it on, baby. And like, there was a point in the match where even Tanaka was like, come on, fucking bring it. And I was like, hell yeah, this is a fucking fight. It's so good.
And the crowd is just going insane too. Yeah, the bit where Tanaka's like slapping him, like, come on, you little bitch Yone, come on. And then like Yone does the crazy eyes, and then we just get like the following like 5 minutes are just some of the most incredible stuff. Like the Yone takes like a superplex from Tanaka, and then just like pops straight back up. Does this? Oh my gosh!
Before that, before they actually hit the superplex, Tanaka goes for the first time, puts him up on the ropes, and Yone does a flip off his shoulders and lands on his feet. It's like crazy shit I didn't see very much. And then Tanaka just grabs him again and puts it back up there and gets the superplex. Like, if you're gonna get to the superplex anyway, might as well, do some cool shit beforehand.
Yeah,
but it was so fucking rad.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know whether there was some sort of like flub spot or whatever it was. But again, assuming there was something that didn't go quite right, this is again like perfect example of how you just not missing a blip like bloody Tanaka. Like, no motherfucker, I'm giving you this superplex.
Yeah, it was actually such a cool. It looked awesome. Like regardless. And then a little bit before that was when Yone was like kicking the shit out of Tanaka, and Tanaka's like, well, come on, kick me some harder, and immediately catches the leg. Then there was like a series of really quick reversals that ended in that really devastating snap DDT. You remember that spot?
Tanaka's so good at that. That's like been a signature of Tanaka for a while, where stuff starts going real fast, and then he'll just like counter, real fast DDT. I always love it.
So good.
There's
actually a really good shot close to this part where it was just the side profile of Yone's face in the left portion of the camera. It was so good. Like, I was like, and he just had this look on his face like, what can I fucking do to beat this guy? What a shot.
There's something so great and something that I love so much about Yone's face. Like, he's just got such an interesting looking face. Like, these bugged out, like bug eyes almost. These massive, sags under his eyes as well. Like, the afro. It really looks like, like the Men in Black movie where there's actually a alien inside of the body. I wouldn't be surprised.
Little tiny aliens operating this man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Oh my
very,
God.
very passionate about 70s human funk as well, I guess.
Passionate about funk, this man.
Nothing wrong with that.
This was so good. And then there was the bit where they were just elbowing each other, and Tanaka's like, well, I'm gonna grab you here by your waistband so you can't go anywhere. And then Yone's like, that sounds like a fucking plan, brother. So he grabs him by the waistband, and they like just start teeing off each other's faces. It's fucking great.
It's so badass. I think that was the moment where I was like, this might be like a match of the year for me at this point, where they're just like motherfucker, like the way with the level of intensity that he just looked him dead in the eye, grabbed his fucking like
Yeah.
belt, buckle up, motherfucker.
And no hesitation from Yone at all. He's like, "Is this what we're doing? I'm here for this, motherfucker." Yeah, that's good shit. Just
Yeah, and the idea of it, it's like they're doing a forearm strike exchange, and the other guy can't fall down because he's holding him up. So
Perfect.
good.
Yeah, man. I this is where I was like, holy shit, I like this match better than Riki Choshu and Vader. I honestly do.
Right?
As cool and badass as those two motherfuckers are, like legends in their time, of course. These two guys, older dudes, fucking having a show-stealing matchup. I honestly was captivated. And previously I had been tired, and I was like, this thing I was on my edge of my seat for. It was like a motocross thing. You can pay for your whole seat, but I was only needing the edge.
Nice. And yeah, there's something so much more fulfilling, I think, about watching Yone, who was 48, Tanaka, who was 52, just fucking being like, you know what? We're gonna go out and just go so much harder than is necessary for this card, for our place on the card. Like, just I don't know what part of this they were both just like, yeah, let's just beat the fucking shit out of each other far more than we actually need to, just cause. Fucking why not?
Beautiful. I fucking love it.
This honestly, there's something that's so much better about, like, and I said this a little bit in my description of when I did the match of the week thing, of like one of the reasons why it meant so much to me, that it's like, obviously dream matches are great, you know, when you get like two dudes that are like both incredible, like the, you know, Danielson Osprey, for example, and you get to see this like massive dream match that's like got massive expectations, but you know, it's there for it. And then you see a match like this and you got no expectations whatsoever, and it's dudes who are in the twilight of their careers, and it's just, I don't know, so much more satisfying. Like, anyone can have a, I mean, not anyone, but you know, it's a lot easier to have a great match in your 30s than it is at this time. So I don't know. This just made me so happy to see. Reaffirms my belief that I strongly believe the best era of every wrestler's career is in their late 40s, early 50s. Man, I enjoyed this so much.
I concur wholeheartedly, especially because it didn't stop. Like, this whole match was amazing start to finish. Even the ending, like, huge ass lariat by Yone, and then he just gets lit up by Tanaka. And the picture or the thing you chose for the picture, the finish, oh, choice, so amazing.
Oh, thank you. I've always been a big fan of Tanaka's sliding D finish. Always thought that was way cool. And yeah, I was going through different frames of this match, trying out what is a cool one. There's a lot of great reaction faces that are going on, but yeah, there was something really cool about that particular one where Tanaka is like just, you know, ready to knock his block off. You know, you get the back of Yone's sweet afro. It's just a moment in time, you know.
Indeed. Fucking amazing shit. Thanks for choosing this one. I likely would have never seen it had you not.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope to, you know, sometimes with these matches of the weeks, sometimes I just watch matches that everyone knows is great. Then sometimes I like the idea of being able to shine a light on something that, you know, I didn't remember hearing that much about this one when it took place. So yeah, maybe it can get on some other people's radar, but I loved every bloody moment of it, and I was sure I really didn't want to tell you how awesome this was before you saw it, because I wanted you to go in with like the same sort of like, oh well, let's see what this is, and not you know, these crazy expectations of it. So yeah.
Did you know that I would love it this much? I have a feeling you might have.
I think at the end of the day, if it's awesome wrestling, you're gonna like it.
Well, there you go. It's very true. I do like a lot. I tend to like more than I hate, so it's probably chances are I will enjoy the shit out of whatever you pick. I feel like a homer sometimes because they're like, ugh, that's not very good. I'm like, what are you talking about? I enjoyed the hell out of it. Like, but it's not the greatest thing ever. It's like, if you're expecting everything you enjoy to be the greatest thing you ever encountered, you're going to be disappointed a lot, chum.
Oh, for sure. I think there's a big part of wrestling fandom where people, compare stuff to other stuff or just compare it to stuff where it's like, well, it was never meant to be that. So why are you, giving it that? I don't know. I think there's something to be said about just enjoying things for what they are. And sometimes being real
Agreed.
surprised like this.
Damn right.
But yeah, so much fun. I hope people dug it, and I hope this incredible cyborg run of Tanaka never ends.
Yeah, or at least on his terms.
Yeah, maybe I would love the idea that he just does it like Jerry Briscoe, just like on the way to a show one night, and he's just like, "Fuck it, it's so cold. I hate driving. I'm done," and just never wrestles ever again.
It turns around and goes home.
Yeah. Like Terry Funk when he gave his notice to finish up that 80s WWF run where he's just like, "Vince, my horse is sick. I'm going home." And he's like, "Well, when are you coming back?" And it's like, And then just never does anything again. I always adored that story.
That's pretty great.
All right, but that brings us to the close of tonight's show. I hope everyone had a bit of fun there. I would like to throw to you, my friend. Have you got anything to plug?
Oh, certainly. My primary thing to plug is my wonderful and delightful social media presence, including Instagram and Twitter, where I am at Jaims Vanderbeek. You can go there and enjoy pictures of me, my animals, stupid memes I make that from occasion to not so much get kind of popular or stolen by 90s WWE on Twitter. Things happen. But yeah, that's at James Vanderbeek. But fuck those guys.
Also, some hilarious references to food, sex, kink stuff. Want to make mention
Yes.
of that?
Indeed. Yeah, the fun that is ass eating with delicious snacks. Oh, that's my new my new kink. Thanks, Chris, for exposing me. No, but also, I make t-shirts, so you can get some of my sweet t-shirt designs at pentagonzo.com. It's pentagonzo.com. Some wrestling parody, some cool old school wrestling designs, some bootlegs of classic stuff, some parodies of bootlegs. So yeah, lots of fun stuff over there. You can't miss it. Guaranteed to not or will get you laid. One of the two. I'm not sure. But lastly, I got to promote my wrestling company that I'm a part of. Not mine. I'm just a small portion doing commentary for SOS Pro Wrestling in Seattle, Washington. This Friday, we have a show. Normally, we're down in Tacoma, but we're venturing north to Seattle. We're outside at Old Stove Brewery. You can't get tickets anymore. We're sold out. But if you have IWTV, you can tune in live and watch me and my friends' wacky hijinks. That's about it.
Sold out.
Sold the fuck out.
Packed at the rafters.
Throwing the babies in the air.
You're
It's
doing
crazy.
something right, my friend.
Yep.
Oh, it honestly sounds like a delight. I see pictures of these shows, and I'm just like, everyone looks like they're having the fucking best time.
Hell yeah, man.
If you're in the area next time, get some tickets early, I would say.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds like
Smart
a great
man.
time.
Smart guy.
Yeah. And I would, highly recommend a follow of Senior Jaims Vanderbeek as well. I also would like to thank the great guys at Social Suplex for keeping the lights on, letting us do this podcast. I even actually get a small chunk of advertising money these days for this podcast. Not a significant amount, but enough to buy myself a coffee every now and then. So that's something. I'm very, very appreciative of that. I would like to direct you over to socialsuplex.com. You can check out, this podcast, but also a variety of other podcasts. We got Keeping It Strong Style, One Nation Radio, All Things Elite, Imp's WWE Adventure, the Trish and Sarah podcast, Tunnel Talk, all sorts of things. There's new podcasts too that, it takes me a while to remember these things. So I'm like, after, you have to be doing it for a while for me to actually be able to commit it to memory. So if you're one of the new podcasts, I'll remember that read through next time, because I think it's an important thing that I don't read these off a piece of paper. That wouldn't be real. So I'm just reading off of my piece of paper that's in my head. Very professional, but I appreciate the team at Social Suplex. If you would like to support the Chris Things art, you can go to christhings.com.au. You can buy a shirt. You can buy a art print. You can even buy an original. All sorts of stuff on there. So even if you just want to go on there and have a bit of a peruse, I think it hopefully is something that people might dig. I also have my events page on there, as I mentioned earlier in the show. I have so much stuff going on in the near future. I'm honestly terrified. I may just collapse and just never get up, and that's the end of Chris. Or I keep on going on. But you can see if Chris Things art is coming to a town near you on the events page of that website. But yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to you, the listener. Big thank you to you, Jeremy. I really did getting to do this thing with you.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah. Dude, I love getting to chop it up, getting to talk some nonsense, getting to talk some wrestling. Yeah, I think it's a good time. And, hey, let's make special mention here. We have some plans, listeners. We normally talk about one or two matches, a match of the week thing. There is a show that I've been hankering to watch. The Action Dean show that, my friend Phil Schneider, author of Way of the Blade and a variety of other the rad books and articles and all sorts of stuff, video comp tape extraordinaire. He put together a show that happened over WrestleMania weekend that was lauded as being pretty bloody awesome, and it's had a few matches on there that I've been meaning to watch ever since. I told you about this, my friend, and we're thinking maybe we should just watch this whole show, and then we can just talk about a whole show. I mean, probably won't go in as in-depth as we normally do on every match because it has a lot, but, I think it'll be a fun process.
There's a lot of matches, very eclectic. I heard the show was quite a success, and a friend of mine performed on the show, so I'm eager to see that match.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff on this show. I'm very, very pumped up to see it. It's a show that was defined as for the freaks. And I would like to think that I'm one of those freaks, those weirdos that likes the eccentric wrestling on the fringes of society. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna dig this. I think it'll be a fun thing for us to get to watch it together and then just talk about watching a whole last show. It's been a while since we've done that.
Agreed. Let's do it. Let's make it happen, sir.
All right. Well, that is on the horizon. I hope you'll enjoy that. But yeah, I think we're at the pointy end here. Thank you, everybody. I'll let you choose how to end the show today, my friend.
Well, there's a lot of pressure. I just want to say, praise Jesus. He is your savior. I'm new Christian. Like my new Christian gimmick now. I'm like Shawn Michaels.
Well, make sure you do a shit ton of cocaine and anti-Christian behavior whilst parroting that, if you can.
Yeah, like eating cake out of buttholes.
Nothing wrong with that, I say.
That's probably good.
That's a good end to the show, I think. Yeah.
And it wasn't cake; it was syrup.
I do the hammerlock. Do the hammerlock, you turkey necks. Yeah, do the hammerlock. I do the hammerlock. Everybody's doing it. Do the eye gouge. Yeah, do the eye gouge. Do the eye gouge.
Syrup.
Maple
Man.
syrup out of the Canadian butthole. I thought it was fitting.
As it should be. Yeah.
All right, buddy.
I think
You have a
that's
great.
how every Canadian celebrates. Is there a Canada Day? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like July 1st. It's pretty close.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what you meant to do.
We're not still recording, are we?
Yes.
All right, bye.
See ya.